This is the Talkin Bout The Hoosiers podcast, presented by HoosierIllustrated.com. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Talkin Bout The Hoosiers podcast, presented by HoosierIllustrated.com. I'm joined by Kyler Staley. I'm Drew Rosenberg. We have a fun show for the holidays. We're not talking anything, current Indiana basketball, current Indiana football, nothing about the playoff, nothing about Mike Woodson, actually maybe some Mike Woodson, but we're doing a little fun mini episode for you guys on the holidays to keep you entertained. We're gonna do a little draft episode. You're gonna post the results of the draft on our Twitter, so you guys can vote who wins between me and Kyler. But we're doing an all-time IU basketball draft. We're gonna draft a starting 5 and 6-man little snake draft. Before we got started, did a little coin toss, best of 3. I somehow won, and with Kyler flipping the coin. So Kyler, you can attest I didn't cheat.
Yeah, he didn't cheat. I'm a fair guy, but no, this is going to be a fun one. A nice little quick episode, just to keep something out there for you guys. So, for you guys, definitely comment on who you think had the better draft. So, for all you old Indiana fans, you probably won't see a whole lot of old guys drafted on here, but
Speak for yourself, Kyler.
all right. Well, Drew might be drafting RTDs. I think that's how you pronounce his last name, but who knows? It's going to be a fun one. So yeah, snake draft here, starting 5, 6-man. And before we get started, I just want to wish a Merry Christmas to everybody, and I hope they have a great holiday. So thanks for tuning in.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate, New Year's, you guys make this possible for us. So thank you guys all for tuning in. And as I mentioned earlier, we're going to post a vote on, I think, probably your Twitter page, I'm assuming, Kyler, and then I'll repost it.
Yeah.
In the lead up for this. So then you guys can vote who had the better drafts. You see at Kyler Staley, at Drew_Rosenberg too. So you'll have the chance to vote. I haven't decided what's going to happen for the winner. Maybe we'll figure something out. Maybe it'll be a beer next time we're both in Bloomington or something like that, and upstairs or something like that.
It's bragging rights, but yeah, make sure you guys go vote. It'll be fun. So maybe we'll have my Twitter link in the bio for the YouTube video if we can get that in there. So but yeah, I'm ready to get started, Drew. And like you said, you got the first pick, so I'll let you go ahead and go.
Yeah, it was between a few guys. And I don't really think there's a wrong choice for the number 1 overall pick. I was back and forth. I told Kyler kind of who I was going to pick before because it's a snake draft, so I have to be strategic. And maybe not the most strategic pick, but it's hard to pass up on him. I'm going Isaiah Thomas.
That's a good choice. Not really. I don't think there's really a bad choice in this draft when we're doing this, but here's my line of thinking. I may have a pick or two that people are going to be like, why would you pick him over this guy when he's still on the board? I'm looking at fit here. I'm trying to build a team here. So that's how I'm going to view it. Of course, I could go the top 10 or whatever, but there's already a guy that I think I am going to draft just because he is one of my all-time favorites, and I love this game, but we'll get to it down the road. But Isaiah Thomas, definitely the best pick you could probably start off with.
Yeah. Can't go wrong there. I was between him, and I'm assuming you're going to take the guy I was between. So we'll see, but maybe he falls to me. We'll see.
Well, I'm going to take the guy who I think is the GOAT for Indiana basketball, the all-time leading scorer in the Big Ten, all-time leading scorer for IU. I'm going to go with Calvert Chaney, Mr. Calvert Chaney. So first, before we continue to go, I assume Isaiah Thomas is going to play your point guard, Drew.
Yeah, but I might move him to shooting guard depending on how this draft goes. We'll see. But yeah, he is, as of now, he's my point guard. And Calvert Chaney was the guy I was between. I was between him and Isaiah. And it was tough to choose Isaiah over him. We've talked. I don't know if we've talked about this on the pod, but I had just a funny moment last year. Calvert Chaney called me son. I don't know if we've ever mentioned that in the pod, but it was just a really funny moment passing in the hallway. Just oh, have a good night, son. I'm just like, oh.
You just earned the line of respect for Calvert Chaney that day. That is you were officially knighted into the Indiana men's basketball program. Yep. So all right, yeah, I'm going to go Calvert Chaney. I think I'm going to play him. I think I'm going to put him at the small forward here.
Oh, small ball. Okay.
I think there's going to be a little bit of debate here where it is, but I'm going to put Calvert right now on my small forward. And then since we are doing a snake draft, I got the second pick, so I'm going to go with a recent guy. I'm going with Trace Jackson Davis. Mm-hmm. Arguably the best men's basketball player in the modern era when it comes to Indiana basketball, you could definitely make that case. Whatever all that he did for the program in his 4 years there. I mean, third leading all-time scorer, leading in rebounds. Is he leading in blocks? I think he is, maybe.
Let me pull it up. He
He's leading
is
in a lot of
leading in
categories.
blocks. Yeah, he does lead in blocks.
You look at Trace Jackson Davis, and obviously he doesn't have a championship to go around, with his legacy. But Trace Jackson Davis, man, he was the man, and he did a lot of great things on the floor. So I like taking Trace Jackson Davis here. Rim protection, a guy that I can give the ball to, easy buckets. You gotta give me TJD here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna fill out my backcourt here. I'm gonna go a recent player, Tom Crean guy. I think a guy who I'm assuming you wanted him at your 2 guard. I'm gonna go Victor Oladipo.
Victor Oladipo, okay. That's not who I was going to go with, but
okay.
I like it. You can't go wrong.
I like the combination about like Oladipo's athleticism with Isaiah Thomas's like playmaking. I think that could be a fun duo. And I'm going back and forth of where I want to play this guy. If I want to put him at power forward or center, but I'm going to put him at center for now. I can't believe I'm going to let you get the other guy, but I'm going to go Walt Bellamy way before my time. Rest in peace. But I mean, first overall pick in the NBA for a reason. Consensus first team All-American, second team All-American the year after. I mean, one of the best players in IU basketball history. For now, it can be my center.
There you go. So you're going center there, and I should go back to mine. I've got Calvert Chaney at small forward, TJD at center. I'm going to put him at center. So obviously, I kind of want in my power forward spot, I kind of want an ability to stretch the floor out a little bit. So I'm going to kind of hold that just for right now. If I remember correctly, do I get 2 picks here?
You do get 2 picks.
I get 2 picks. So I'm going to go ahead and get my point guard, the guy that leads in assists all time in Indiana, the guy that surpassed Isaiah Thomas. I'm going to go with Yogi Ferrell here. So
he was on my board.
I got to go with Yogi. I mean, he does have multiple championships to go with his legacy at Indiana. Another Tom Crean guy. He won the Big Ten championship his freshman year. Won it his senior year, just a day one starter. He just grew as a player. Since his freshman year to his senior year, I mean, he grew into being, I think he was first team All Big Ten, easily had to be first Big Ten All. I can't talk, but it's just Yogi, just a lot of good things that he would do on the floor, and just his scoring, his passing, and his defense. And Yogi was he was the guy, and he was he still lives and kind of on that pedestal a little bit too when you think back at Indiana basketball guards or whatever. So he's a stud, and obviously we got to watch him a little bit, continue to do his thing, playing for Assembly Ball over the summer at TBT. So Yogi's still the man, dude. And you give me Yogi Ferrell and TJD, you give me that pick and pop, pick and roll, all those oops and everything. I'm gonna take that, no question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my second pick, or let's see what I got: shooting guard and power forward. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I want 2 primary ball handlers. I'm going to go with Damon Bailey.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going to go with
I like that.
A guy that, we are from the same hometown of Bedford, Indiana. So, I went to BNL and everything. So I obviously know the legacy of Damon Bailey. So Damon Bailey, a guy that was recruited by Bob Knight when he was in middle school, and a guy that's just an Indiana basketball legend. In multiple areas when you talk about high school, Indiana, just everything. So I like him paired with Yogi, and I think that's kind of a nice little, I think there's a lot of options there when you look at that backcourt.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to leave me a fun duo right now. I'm going to go for my power forward. I'm going to go play. You're playing small ball a little bit. So you have 4 guys. I have 3 right now. So I'm going to finish my starting 5. I'm going to go at power forward. This guy only played 1 season at Indiana, but averaged 30 a game, 30 and almost 15, 30 and 15 at IU in 1 season. I'm going to go George McGinnis in my power forward.
That's a good one.
And then alongside him, this guy played a little bit of center in the NBA, played some small forward, power forward, played a little bit of everywhere. but did play small forward in the NBA. So I'm going to go a big lineup. This is not a modern lineup at all. There's no spacing. This in 2024, this might not be the best lineup. We're just going to physically dominate. But I'm going to go Alan Henderson at my small forward.
Jeez, man. So you got Alan Henderson at small forward. And then who did you pick before that?
George McGinnis is my power forward.
Dude, your team is
huge.
It's funky.
It's huge. I'm going to dominate the glass and inside. I mean, Trayce Jackson-Davis is your center. He would be my small forward.
See, my thing is like, do I want to counter you? Because I've got my power forward spot. Do I want to counter you and try to get some rebounding? Because I do have the all-time leading rebounder in Trayce Jackson-Davis at my center spot.
I have 2 and 3, though, on that list.
You do have 2 and 3. You're going to force me to do something I didn't really want to do because I don't think he can do this. I don't remember him doing it a whole lot at Indiana, but I think I'm going to have to do it. I think I'm going to go with Cody Zeller and then fill out my front court.
So are you going to move TJD to power forward, I'm assuming?
No, I'm going to keep him at center just because I don't know. Did Cody Zeller ever shoot the 3 ball? Can you remember? I know you were like 2 years old, Drew, but
Cody Zeller at IU.
Cody Zeller
don't think he shot the 3 ball at IU.
We can look this.
He took maybe 1 attempt in his career.
No way. It had
2. He took 2. 0 for 2 in his career.
Well, yeah. That's not good. There's a big name that we left on the board, and
he's gonna be my 6th man because I already had a point guard, shooting guard.
So I think I know who it's gonna be then. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Cody Zeller, and I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna let you go ahead and pick.
It was your pick. Yeah, that was a mistake on my part.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and go because it sounds like you got a guy.
No. I'm a man of honor.
No. Here's the thing. I know who you're gonna pick, and I'm not going to pick this guy because I'm gonna pick the guy that I said that is gonna be funky in this. It's gonna be a guy out of left field that I'm going to put here, and I swear it's not gonna be the guy that you're gonna pick. So I'm gonna let you go first.
No. If it's not my guy, it's your pick, Kyler. It's your pick. I'm a man of honor.
Okay. For my 6th man, I want a little versatility here. I want a guy that I can plug in a little bit of spots. And, through his 4 years, I think he played for Indiana. Yeah, 4 years. He kind of grew a little bit more into more of a basketball player, and his role kind of changed. And I think he's one of the more underrated Indiana men's basketball players ever, just from what he did in a big transition period. I'm going to go with Juwan Morgan as my 6th.
Like that.
Juwan Morgan is a guy, loved watching him because he's a guy that came in with Thomas Bryant, OG, was kind of that third man. Once OG kind of took off and became his own, kind of that third man in that class, and then OG, Thomas Bryant go to the NBA. Juwan Morgan stays back. Tom Crean's fired. He's there for 2 years. With Archie Miller, and Archie Miller used him in a lot of different ways. I mean, he was an undersized center for a lot of the times. This is a guy that played his butt off and always seemed like every other game his shoulder was popping out of him, and he'd just pop it back in and go play. And then he's the other guy, he grew up into more of a ball handler as well. There are a lot of times where you'd see him bring the ball up the floor, initiate the offense. So he's a guy that I feel like probably not a guy that's going to be able to shoot the 3 ball very, very well. But he's a guy that I feel like, hey, if there's foul trouble in any position, I think I can throw Juwan in and we can make it work. So Juwan Morgan is my 6th man.
All right. So I have 3 names I'm deciding between. The name I was originally leaning was I think is Steve Alford.
That's not what I was thinking.
Oh, you were thinking Mike Woodson.
No, I was not thinking Mike Woodson.
Okay. So I was leaning between Alford, Mike Woodson, and Scott May. Those were kind of the 3 because I kind of needed a small forward, and Scott May could fill that role. But I look at my team. I need shooting. I have 3 bigs who aren't really shooters or aren't shooters, not at all. I have Oladipo who can shoot the 3 ball, Isaiah who can shoot the 3 ball. I need shooting for my team. I want to go Woodson. I mean, national champion,
Ooh.
But I can't. I got to go Steve Alford, one of the best shooters in the history of the program. Can you imagine if Steve Alford played Indiana? in the 21st century with like his jump shot.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Alford, also another quote unquote GOAT of Indiana, so he'd be great. I'm going to give you an option here, Drew, if you want to do this. Do you want to put Steve Alford in your starting lineup and move either Oladipo or Isaiah Thomas or Alan Henderson, whatever you want to do? Do you want to move somebody into your 6-man spot?
Honestly, yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll move Alan Henderson into my 6-man.
Okay.
And move Oladipo up to my small forward.
Okay.
To match, because I feel like that matches up a little better for me now on the. We both have, because Damon Bailey, I think Damon Bailey 6'1", I want to say.
Yeah.
6'3", 6'3". Okay,
he's a big guy.
But Damon Bailey, Steve Alford, like we have, there's a little size advantage. Alford, I think 6'2", I want to say, so like similar sized got backcourts with. I guess Isaiah is 6'2", I want to say, but Yogi's a small guard, so. And Calvert's. I wanted to take Chaney. I wanted to take him first overall. But I knew if I didn't, I wasn't getting Isaiah, and I had to get Isaiah.
I had to get Calvert Chaney. I was actually looking at probably taking TJD first. If you weren't going to pick either, even if you would have picked that Calvert Chaney, I wasn't going to pick Isaiah Thomas. So
really?
Just a big Trace Jackson Davis fan and everything that he did. But I don't know, man. Call me a little braggy and everything, but I think my team just wipes the floor with your team.
I don't know.
It ain't even close.
I don't know. The problem is your team is like, I mean, other than a few guys on your team you've seen your whole team play, Walt Bellamy, George McGinnis, those guys, obviously, I never saw them play. Same with Steve Alford.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think, the older IU fans are going to ride with my team, I have a lot more Bob Knight in my squad. I think, I want to say, when did Alan Henderson? I think my whole team played under Bob Knight except
Oladipo didn't.
Oladipo, yeah. So
yeah, Oladipo's with the old heads over there, and here I am riding with all the pretty much 1, 2, 3.
You have what?
3. Yeah, 3 of us former teammates just riding on my other side here. So
you have 2 Bob Knight players, I want to say.
Me, I got Calvert. Yeah, I've got 2. So and then the rest, I've got an Archie. I've got 2 Archie Miller / Woodson, and then Tom Crean, 2 Tom Crean, 2 Bob Knights. So I guess I will take Tom Crean as my coach because I think he fits the style better. You can go ahead and take Bob Knight.
All right. All right. One last question before we wrap up, Kyler, because you kind of mentioned it. TJD. Where does TJD rank? I guess is players post Bob Knight. Is he the best player since Bob Knight?
Best player since Bob Knight.
You have Yogi Ferrell, Oladipo. Your whole team pretty much. Zeller.
I'll answer this in 2 ways. Right off the cup, yes, he has to be, right? And just everything that he did for the program.
Individually, I think it probably is him, but he doesn't have the team accomplishments. It's kind of similar to like an Allen Iverson, for example, in the NBA. Like,
I guess if you're going to throw in team accomplishments, probably going to go with Yogi then.
That's exactly where the argument kind of kicks in. How much do you value team accomplishments?
But here's the thing, though, and this may be crazy to a lot of the older fans, maybe even some newer fans. I'm putting TJD in my my Mount Rushmore of Indiana men's basketball players. There's a lot of ways that you can look at it. I know a lot of people are going like, you got to have, Alford, Chaney, Isaiah Thomas, Scott May, those guys and stuff. But like, man, Trace he was the man. He was an alpha. And that's what he did all 4 years, when he was with Indiana. And, a big reason, the shift in the culture and things like that was because of Trace. So, big Trace Jackson Davis fan. I would argue and say that he's the greatest guy since the Bob Knight era. But, that's up for debate. And that's exactly what this podcast is for.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're here. But thank you guys for tuning in to this little draft episode. If you like episodes like this, you want more of it. I know we kind of, Kyle and I talked about it off camera, maybe doing a football one, maybe get John Alden in to do a little football one, draft an IU team of football players. If you want similar drafts, stuff like this, just, weird content, that's kind of just fun. you know, like, leave a comment, give us ideas. I mean, we're open to your ideas, so make sure you're doing that. But for all things IU athletics, make sure you're following Indiana_FRN on Twitter, Facebook, and make sure you're looking at HoosierIllustrated.com. And make sure you hit the little bell on YouTube so you're subscribed to Hoosier Illustrated so you don't miss content like this. Because, I mean, you were obviously watching for a reason, so make sure to keep watching. As always, thank you for tuning in to the Talking About the Hoosiers podcast presented by HoosierIllustrated.com. We'll be back next week.